Hello, radiographers. Welcome to the third part of the MRI of pituitary gland, dynamic MRI. These are the dynamic sequences that I am scrolling. The first one is a non-contrast sequence, and then the second, third, fourth, and fifth scans are post-contrast. And you can see that in every series, contrast density is increasing gradually over time. And this is the last scan of the dynamic sequence. You can see the extension of the tumor at the left side. And now how to print this dynamic sequence. Actually, dynamic sequence is taken for to evaluate the contrast enhancement over time and the washout of the contrast from the tumor. So you can use a dynamic or Dyna software application to rule out the graph of the timing of the contrast enhancement. So now I am printing this dynamic sequence. So I will select the 5x5 layout, and in each row I will put each series of the dynamic scan. So in the first row I will put the first scan from the dynamic, that is a non-contrast scan. So this is the first series, select series and send to the filming, and you can see that there are 9 images in a one series. So that I change the layout to 6x5 so that I can put 6 images in a row, and there is 5 rows that I will put 5 dynamic scan one by one. So in the second row I am putting the second scan from the dynamic just after the contrast is given. This is scan is taken, the second scan, and remind that between the first scan and second scan you have to push the contrast, and there is a break time between the first and second scan. You have to push the contrast in the break time, and this is the third scan. So each dynamic scan contains 9 images. So I have to delete 3 images from the front and the back, and adjusting the contrast of the images. So already 3 row has been arranged, and another 2 row will be fill up from the last 2 scan of the dynamic. So this is the fourth scan that I sent to film. Slightly enlarge the images so that the pituitary adenoma is visualized. So this is the fourth scan from the dynamic series, and another row will be filled up by the fifth scan. So let's send the fifth dynamic scan to the film. So this is the last row that I have to fill up with the fifth scan from the dynamic, and for this I have to delete 3 images because there is only 6 segments in a row. So this is a dynamic film that I prepared. The first row is a non-contrast scan of the pituitary gland, and the second, third, fourth, and fifth row are post-contrast scan. So this is how I make a dynamic pituitary film. And this is the T1 sagittal post-contrast. You can see that the pituitary macroadenoma is enhanced with the contrast, and this is a mixed enhancement. You can also see some isointense areas or hypointense areas inside the tumor. So you can also measure the tumor using the scale that I'm doing here. I'm measuring from the top to bottom and also from the right to left at the larger side of the tumor. You can see that all the images have the scale, but I want to scale in one image. To delete the scale, select all graphics and delete button, and press delete button. So all the graphics will be deleted from all the images. And now select one image. If you select series, then all the images will be scaled. So select one series and make sure that this is the select series line. So if the blue line is straight line, then it's select series, and if the blue line is dotted line, then it's not select series, or series is not selected, that I'm showing here. And now I'm trying to delete the point. So I have to load the T1 sagittal and coronal again. So this is the slide that I want to scale or measure. You can see that the tumor height is 3.3 centimeter, 3.37 centimeter, and the width is 3.10 centimeter. So obviously it's a large mass from the pituitary gland, and because of this, patient have complications of vision. So I send this T1 sagittal post contrast film to the filming, and I will print these images in one film in slightly enlarged view, and you can see that contrast is taken by the tumor, and this pituitary macroadenoma extends anteriorly to the left side and print out. Now it's time to print the T1 coronal post contrast select series. In the coronal view, we can see the extension of the tumor in the left side. In the coronal image, I also want to scale this tumor. So this is 3.29 centimeter long, the tumor, and try to scale the larger segment of the tumor. And here I want to measure it, the width of the tumor is 2.68 centimeter in the coronal segment. So check all the slides and measure some areas where it looks important, and send the images to filming and find the reference image. This is the reference image of the coronal sequence, and send it to the filming. So I have to first select series and send it the T1 coronal sequence. So it's not working, it's not sending to filming. So I have to close the patient from the viewing and again load in the viewing tab, and I have to measure again. Use the scale and I have to measure again the lesion. And it's showing 3.31 centimeter in height, and I'm searching the wider part of the tumor. I think this is the wider part, and this is 3.06 centimeter width at the top. This is the last sequence, and it's a T1 team transverse post contrast sequence. Now I am measuring the width of the bottom part of the lesion, and it's showing 2.7 centimeter, and select series, send to filming, and also send this reference image. And now go to filming, and there is 19 coronal slice and one reference image, total 20 image in this film, and the film layout is 4 into 5, that means 4 column and 5 rows in this film. Adjust the contrast and enlarge the images before printing, and then print out. And now last sequence is T1 transverse post contrast. You can see that the size of the tumor, and let's measure it. It's 2.9 centimeter in length and 3.3 centimeter, 3.3 centimeter in length and 2.9 centimeter in width. Select series, send to filming, find the reference image of this transverse section and send it also to filming. So here I do a mistake. You can see that all the scales are in all the image. So select series, select all graphics and delete all the graphics, and then again measure the lesion. So if you measure when the series is selected, then all the measurement will appear in all the images. So when you measure, make sure that only this image is selected, not the series is selected. And now select series and then send to filming, and again send the reference image. Now go to filming and adjust the size of the image and the contrast also. Try to zoom in a little bit to visualize the pituitary lesion well, and also adjust the reference image. So this is it. This is the last film. Print it out. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this video. If you so, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. and share this video with your friends. Thank you.